Hello everyone! Ayan, hello everybody. Ayan, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day wherever you are, Zailors. Lunes na naman at alas 6 na, which means it's another time to learn here in GenZailing Through Life. Woohoo! Ayan, so alam naman natin, Gen Zailing Through Life is short for Generation Z Sailing Through Life. And in our show, we'll talk about things that concern the self, mental health, personal growth, self-development, self-love, productivity, and everything in between. Again, I am Justine McCormick. I'm 19, a psychology student, mental health advocate, singer-songwriter, YouTube content creator, and of course, your host for today's show. Ayan, so kamusta naman kayo diyan lahat? Kamusta naman ang inyong mga araw? Kamusta ang Monday? Kamusta ang unang linggo ng February? 'Di ba kakasimula pa lang. So, 'yan kamusta naman ang lahat? Ayan. Um, bago ang lahat, i-share ko muna 'to sa aking mga friends kasi baka hindi nila alam na live na ako. Ayan. So, ayun, kamusta naman kayo? Nako, grabe ang bilis talaga. Pero actually, hindi naman. Kapag may ginagawa ka, hindi mo rin ramdam talaga na sobrang bilis ng araw. I mean, hindi mo, oo, parang nakukulangan ka pa nga. Ewan ko, ang gulo ko, di ba? Hindi, parang sakto lang siguro. Pero, ayun, kung i-rate nyo guys, yung inyong week, yung parang first days of February, how would you rate it? Siguro ako, mga 7 gano'n. I think mga 7 oo. Kasi parang I feel like hindi kasi medyo nade-delay na naman yung mga task ko, ayan, nagsisimula naman na pagiging unpunctual natin. Pero 7 kasi I still manage to choose kung ano yung pipiliin kong gawin at hindi ko pipiliing gawin. Kasi may mga pagkakataon talaga na kailangan nating i-sacrifice ang ibang task lalo na kung may mas importante pa talaga sa kanya, 'di ba? So, ayun 7 and kung ako naman, how well I am itong nakaraang linggo, I think mga 8 or 9. Yes, I feel good naman, I feel okay, and napa-proud lang ako every time na I face some difficulty or parang some delays, and then hindi na ako katulad dati na mas nagre-rely sa feelings sa kung paano ako magre-respond. Ngayon napapansin ko talagang I am thinking and responding to my circumstances more proactively na and more intentionally, which is a very good win for me lalo na ngayong bagong taon na 2022. Ayan. So, guys, syempre baka nakakalimutan ng iba or may mga hindi pa nakakaalam. Second to the last episode na natin ngayon ng GenZailing Through Life. Pero hindi naman sigurado na forever na mawawala yung GenZailing Through Life. Kasi GenZailing Through Life has been a special has has a special place in my heart kasi parang ito yung una kong baby in terms of public speaking, hosting, although of course nakapag-YouTube, gumagawa naman ako ng mga videos before sa YouTube na hindi naman naging consistent. Pero this is something na nagawa kong consistent and something na talagang pinag-e-effortan ko talaga. And ayun, I think Gen Through Life will come back. We don't I know that it will come back pero siguro mga it will take years or months before bumalik, and I don't know if I'll have the same setup na parang show or magpo-podcast na lang ako. So, ayun lang naman. Next week will be our last episode and hopefully makapanood kayo ng last episode natin next week. Ayan. So, ngayon, mag-recap muna tayo ng ating mga episodes nitong nakaraang series na There is Hope in 2022. Actually, guys, last episode na tayo ngayon ng There is Hope in 2022. And mag-recap lang tayo. Ayan, so, ayan, again, hope is a feeling of desire and expectation that things will go well in the future. Ayan, and yung mga nakaraan nating episodes, ayan, happiness, happy newness, optimism, positivity to possibility, patience, the power and waiting, and for today's episode, embrace uncertainty, my friend. Ayan, so, Kung hindi niyo pa napapanood yung mga dating episodes and then gusto niyo lang makinig pero may ginagawa kayo, puwede naman niyong pakinggan yung ating mga previous episodes. Nasa YouTube channel ko 'yan, Steen McCormick. Ayun, gumawa na rin naman ako ng playlist for Shaper 2022, the series tuloy naisip ko. I mean, sa lahat ng mga naging series natin maliban sa productivity, hindi ko pa nagagawa ng playlist 'yon. Pero ayun, meron tayong playlist ng Shaper 2022, the series, and playlist ng GenZailing Through Life, and playlist nitong There is Hope in 2022, the series. So, if you want to watch or kahit listen lang to our previous episodes, go ahead. Nandun lang naman yan sa aking YouTube channel na Steen McCormick. Ayan. And ang episode natin for today is Embrace Uncertainty, my friend. Ayan. So, wala pa tayong viewers. Pero okay lang yan. Kunwari, ano na lang, I'm dedicating this episode for myself. And then, ayan, so, there's this one great philosopher named Jiddu Krishnamurti. Ayan. And ang shinare niya yung secret niya to happiness. And when he shared his secret to happiness, ang sabi niyang secret niya to happiness is this statement, I don't mind what happens. Diba? I don't mind what happens. Wala akong pakialam kung ano mang mangyari. Hindi ko masyado pino-worry kung ano mang mangyayari. Although, syempre, 'di ba, parang ang ganda ng ganitong mindset, 'di ba? It's like a ticket to emotional freedom, 'di ba? Na when you have this kind of mindset, grabe yung male-let go mo ng mga beliefs, na mga self-limiting beliefs and mga iba't ibang ano ba, mga bagay na 'di ba nagpapahirap sa atin to be authentic and to do what we want. So, it's really a good kind of mindset. Pero syempre, most of us cannot help but care about what will happen next in our lives, 'di ba? Hindi talaga, feeling ko karamihan sa atin hindi natin kayang ganitong mindset na I don't mind what happens, kasi syempre we care about keeping our jobs, we care about getting good grades, we care about having enough money, 'di ba? And we care about so much things, 'di ba? Sa iba't ibang crucial or important aspects ng buhay natin. So mahihirapan tayo to have this kind of mindset dahil we really have that tendency to care about what will happen next in our lives, 'di ba? Gusto natin makasiguro na yung mangyayari na kasunod ay yung gusto nating mangyari, 'di ba? And dahil sa ganong klaseng behavior natin, ganong klaseng way of thinking natin, na we want to know what will happen next and we want to make sure na kung ano yung gusto natin, yun ang mangyayari. Doon nagsisimula yung need natin for certainty, 'di ba? Gusto natin malaman kung ano yung susunod na mangyayari, 'di ba? Kasi ang reason kasi kung bakit ganun tayo, because we want to know na everything will be okay, 'di ba? Na we want to know what will happen next para alam natin kung okay ba yung mangyayari o hindi okay yung mangyayari. At kung okay yung mangyayari, we can be at ease and we can rest at that moment. However, the truth is we live in uncertain times, 'di ba? Hindi naman natin talaga malalaman kung ano mangyayari bukas, mamaya, next year, next week, 'di ba? And more often kasi we have reacted to uncertainty not proactively, pero by always pretending na hindi siya nag-e-exist, na wala namang uncertainty sa paligid, or di natin siya pinapansin, nine-neglect natin, ini-ignore natin. So, today, we will break that chain of pretending na hindi totoo yung uncertainty, na hindi siya nag-exist. Instead, today, we will learn how embracing uncertainty would benefit us. So, shout out sa kung sino mang dumaan sa ating live. I don't know kung meron nang nanonood or wala, pero shout out sa iyo dyan. Hello! Ayan. So, now let's move on defining naman our definitions before we answer kung paano tayo natutulungan ng uncertainty, kung paano siya naging kaibigan, kung bakit importanteng i-embrace yung uncertainty at kung anong pwede nating gawin. Of course, we have to define each words in our episode title. Ayan. So, una, what is embrace? 'Di ba? So, embrace is a verb, of course, and it means this accepting or supporting a belief, a theory, or a change willingly and enthusiastically. 'Di ba? When we embrace something, it's not just, napilitan tayong i-embrace siya. Napilitan lang tayo na um, tanggapin siya. Pero we embrace something willingly, we embrace something enthusiastically because we think that it's good for us, 'di ba? And ayun, embrace doesn't only mean na we acknowledge the presence of that belief or change, pero it also means embracing something, embracing a belief, a theory, or a change also means na we accept it without complaint, without doubts, 'di ba? So that what embrace means. Ayan. Next naman, of course, ano naman ng uncertainty? Well, ayan, uncertainty means the state of being uncertain or unpredictability, yung hindi natin alam yung mangyayari, 'di ba? When a situation is something na hindi natin alam yung mangyayari, it's not known to us, or something na hindi certain, hindi sigurado kung anong mangyayari, kung anong magiging resulta, 'di ba? And also uncertainty, it is also the feeling of not being sure kung ano bang mangyayari sa future, mamaya, bukas, next week. Yan. I-shoutout naman natin si Jed. Hello, Jed. Andre, welcome to our live stream. Ayan. Thank you for dropping by and hopefully you'll stay until the end of the episode. Ayan. Alam mo, Jed, nagpaplano pa naman kamo ako. Nagchika. Nagpaplano pa naman ako na pag-giveaway sana next week. Kasi last episode na, 'di ba? Kaya lang, wala naman nanonood. So, ba't ako magpapag-giveaway? So, ayun. Wala na, share ko lang. By the way, Jed, how are you? How well is your February so far? Ayan. Kung i-rate mo siya 1 to 10, ayan, paano mo siya, I mean, how much mo siya i-rate? Like, 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. How well is your February so far? Ayan. Comment mo lang below. Ay, sabi ni Jed. Ay, oo, meant talaga itong episode for today sa akin. Ayan. So, abang-abangan na lang natin kung anong mga say mo. Mag-comment ka lang dyan para marami ako nakikita sa live chat. Ayan. Sabi niya, ayan lang, beke naman. Kasi wala nga eh. So, wala, hindi na ako ginanahan. Charot. Ayan. Sabi niya, super happy. Grabe. Ang dami mong comments. Talagang ginagalingan mo manifesting for the whole year. Yes, we're manifesting that kind of happiness for the whole year and for our whole life, di ba? Ayan, 10, 10 right now. Ay, gusto ko yung 10, 10. Akala ko magiging 11 pa yan eh. Okay, so now, let's talk about ano bang nangyayari when we feel uncertain. Ayan, what happens when we feel uncertain? So, wala namang doubt, di ba? There's no doubt na uncertainty talaga can be very uncomfortable, 'di ba? Lalo na iba-iba tayo ng way of coping mechanism, 'di ba? Kasi as humans, we are wired to want to have control within our environment. Yun talaga, as humans talaga, we are wired to want to control our environment. Na-enjoy natin yung stability from having or from knowing na yung future natin is familiar and their future is, alam mo yun, connected sa past, connected sa present, connected sa future. And we enjoy that. We enjoy certainty. 'Di ba? Gusto natin ng stable, gusto natin ng predictable na future. We enjoy that kind of things, 'di ba? And gustong-gusto natin nararamdaman na we are masters of our own ship, na we are in control. Kaya it's very natural for us to find ourselves na na-overwhelmed kapag wala talaga tayong ka-idea sa kung anong mangyayari when our future becomes unknown. And then, yung mga susunod nating sasabihin, ito yung usually na ginagawa natin kapag we feel uncertain. Ayan, usually, we encounter fear and resort to fight, flight, or freeze. So, alam naman natin na pagka we fight, we try to eliminate yung fear, 'di ba? We try to eliminate the fear, the situation, the event, and kapag flight, we try to escape it. And kapag ka-freeze, di we're immovable, hindi tayo makagalaw dun sa pwesto natin or sa situation na yon. And ayan ang nagiging response natin as we feel unsafe, 'di ba? As we feel unsafe na hindi natin alam yung mangyayari, and our body wants to protect us by resorting to this kind of responses. Instead na nakikita natin yung uncertainty as a friend, sinusubukan natin siyang i-eliminate, i-defeat, i-cover up, 'di ba, with sometimes with delusion, sometimes other people resort with drugs, some people resort to perfectionism, anger, 'di ba? They deal with uncertainty with anger, 'di ba? And other people naman cover it up with ego, and then they attempt to control their environment, they attempt to control other people, and sometimes na de-depress yung isang tao because of uncertainty. So, ayan, mostly we encounter fear and resort to fight, flight, or freeze. Ayan. And then next naman, syempre, when we feel uncertain, usually we worry. 'Di ba? Kasi worrying can make it seem like pag nag-worry tayo, parang we feel like we have some control over uncertain circumstances. It's something na what worrying does to us. And oo, maaari nating paniwalaan na worrying can help us solve our problems at some point or prepare us for the worst, 'di ba? Kasi when we worry, 'di ba, we anticipate the bad things, the worst things, 'di ba? And ayun, we think na we are preparing ourselves for it, pero hindi naman yun yung nangyayari, 'di ba? And chronic worrying or yung matinding pag-worry, it can't give us more control. Ang nangyayari lang when we worry, it just pushes us away from enjoying the present, and kinukuha niya lang yung energy natin, which yun yung nakakapigil sa atin or hindi nakakatulong sa atin para magawa natin yung mga gusto nating gawin. Ayan, sabi ni Jed, di ko pa pala nakita yung mga comments mo. Sabi niya, Bibo today, super saya kasi. Ano ba nangyari? Bakit ka sobrang saya? Off topic lang natin, panandalian. Bakit sobrang saya mo? Marami kang nagawa. Uy, oo, totoo yan. Talagang, baka kasama yan sa reading mo. Di ba sa incident ko sa'yo, sinabi ba niya na magiging productive ka this week? Ayan. Sabi ko, nagawa today. Actually, ako ang paniniwala ko kapag, hindi naman paniniwala. Based lang to sa observation ko sa sarili ko, and baka ganito ka rin, Jed. Kapag unang pasok, mga first and second week ng bagong buwan, masipag ako, sobrang productive. Pero pagka third and fourth week na, nag-fluctuate na yung energy ko. Paunti na ng paunti ginagawa ko. Hindi ko alam kung ganun ka rin, pero ganun ako. Kaya share ko lang. Ayun, sabi niya, ha, ha, ha. Okay, sabi niya, okay, oversharing na. Okay lang, tayo-tayo lang naman. Ay, sabi ni mama, hi, be, hindi ko marinig tin, mahina signal, be. Uy, mahina ba boses ko? Or baka si mama lang, mahina yung signal niya. Ma, mahina ba? Jed, mahina ba boses ko? Ayan. Ma, hello. Okay. Okay, thank you mama sa pagdaan. Ayan. Sabi ni Jed, me all of the above. Char. Ayan. Oo, te, sabi niya kung may gustong change. Okay. Truly. Ayan, sabi niya, na-exhaust natin sa first 2 weeks. Totoo yun. Feeling ko ganun nga. Kaya ang ang parang gusto kong gawin is that actually hindi lang nga sa week, hindi nga lang sa month, pati sa week, yung mga first days ng linggo, masipag ako. Pero pagka Friday, Saturday, Sunday na, nag-fluctuate na rin yung energy ko. And ayun, ang plano ko pag gano'n is that damihan ko na yun dun sa mga productive days. Tapos pagpatapos na, talagang pauntiin na yung mga gawain. Ayun, wala lang, off topic lang, nag-overshare na naman tayo dito. But it's fine. Okay. Now, next naman, syempre hindi nagtatapos dyan yung ginagawa natin when we feel uncertain. Next is that we may jump at the first solution that shows itself. Before we explain that, teka lang, low bat na ako. Saglit lang. I am back. Yan, sabi ni Jed, mahirap kasing, ay, ba't hindi nakiklik? Nakilik ba? Yan, mahirap kasing mag-all out ng energy kapag nag-aaral kasi may mga biglang activities. Oo nga, understandable naman kasi student, ang hirap-hirap pag student. Alam mo naman, biglang-biglang nambibigla yung mga teacher. Ayan, so, yun na nga. Okay, so when we feel uncertain, we also have the tendency to jump at the first solution that shows itself. Kasi pagkaganyan, kasi ang nangyayari, we tend to parang nagawin na agad kung ano yung solution na makita natin without really rationalizing. We jump at it, we do it kasi 'di ba parang pag may solution, parang gusto nating i-grab for us to feel more comfortable, 'di ba? Para magkaroon na agad ng certainty brought by that solution kahit na hindi siya yung best solution, magja-jump na tayo because of course, yun na nga, yung feelings natin na nag-dictate na yun yung gawin para magkaroon lang ng certainty, 'di ba? Para maging at ease lang tayo. And ayun, kaya rin isa ring reason kung bakit may tendency tayo na ganito na we jump at the first solution. Kasi meron tayong parang nasanay tayo, we are used to always doing. Na kailangan may ginagawa, kailangan masolusyonan na agad yung isang bagay. Parang hindi natin nakikita na essential yung mag-pause, yung mag-slow down. Minsan alam naman natin, pero minsan 'pag nandoon na tayo sa sitwasyon, parang nakakalimutan natin yung essence na kailangan mo talaga mag-pause. Kasi talagang yung feelings mo ang taas-taas ng parang ang taas-taas ng adrenaline mo in feeling those things. And ayun, we are used to always doing. Kaya parang it's challenging for us to not do something, 'di ba? To just pause, 'di ba? And to just slow down. And ayun din, siguro pwede ring isang factor din is that marami kasi sa atin ang naniniwala at may paniniwala pa rin na to be valued and loved, kailangan may ginagawa tayo, kailangan ina-accomplish tayong mga bagay, 'di ba? So, yung being in the void or parang being in the space between, ayan yung parang, 'di ba, parang the space of certain and uncertainty, ayan, that's the space between. Hindi siya masyadong familiar to us, 'di ba? Kaya lang, syempre, when we jump at the first solution, 'di ba, we often don't make the best decision kasi yun nga, hindi natin ina-analyze ang sitwasyon at hindi natin ina-analyze kung yun lang ba yung pwedeng solution dun sa problema na nag-arise, 'di ba? Ayan, sabi ni Jed, "Ba ba't gano'n? Iba yung nasa screen." Ayan, saka we jump to the first solution kasi we feel secured and pressured to fix things. Ayun, yun nga mismo. We jump to first solution kasi we feel secured and pressured to fix things. Kasi nga, gusto na natin na kailangan na ng, nape-pressure tayo, maaaring dahil sa environment, society, na parang kailangan, hindi pangit yung merong problema eh, kailangan maayos mo na yan agad-agad, 'di ba? Kahit na parang ano lang, alam mo yun, yung kumbaga parang sabihin natin na baling kawayan, 'di ba? Kahit na hindi hindi practical or rational na i-tape mo 'yon, you'll jump at that first solution kasi yun nga, we are pressured to fix things. So, ayun, wala lang, analogy lang. Feeling matalino lang, charot. Pero ayun, totoo yung sinabi ni Jed. Ayan, and then, next, and probably the last sa list natin is that when we feel uncertain, we may be influenced by a friend or person. Itong friend or person na to, it can influence us na gumawa ng isang bagay, magdesisyon ng isang bagay. And na-influensyan tayo ng mga taong to because bina-value natin yung opinions nila, importante sila sa atin. And ang nangyayari lang when we are influenced by this person, by a friend, by a family, by a relative, 'di ba? Nangyayari, parang sila na yung pumipili parang they choose for us, 'di ba? And nagpapaimpluwensya naman tayo kahit hindi tayo passionate about it, 'di ba? Instead of taking the time to figure out kung ano talaga yung gusto natin and following that path, yung gusto nating path. So ayun, when we feel uncertain, minsan nagpapaimpluwensya tayo sa paligid natin na sila na yung hinahayaan nating magdesisyon para sa atin just because sometimes parang we feel na incapable tayo to solve our problems. We feel na incapable tayo to overcome these things. Kaya we let other people to decide for us. We let other people to choose for us. So, ayun. Also, meron tayong tendency na nagpapa-impluwensya or nagpapa-control by other people when we feel uncertain. Ayan. So, all in all, yung avoidance natin sa uncertainty, it controls much of our lives. Talagang, when we avoid uncertainty, ang dami nating pwedeng magawang mistakes na lalong malayo tayo dun sa pinakagusto nating puntahan. 'Di ba? Yung need natin to know, 'di ba? Our need to know is often yung pundasyon for most choices na ginagawa natin. Kaya, when we search for certainty, it really affects how we face life, how we approach work, how we study, how we maintain relationships, how we take care of ourselves. So, ayun, it's something na kailangan na nating palitan, baguhin. Kailangan na natin i-break yung chain i-break yung chain of pretending na uncertainty doesn't exist and that kailangan lagi nating alam yung mangyayari. So, yan, later we'll talk about kung anong pwede nating gawin to be able to do that. Ayan. So, ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin, what is a friend? Kasi syempre yung title natin, Embrace Uncertainty, My Friend. So, we have to define ano ba ibig sabihin ng friend, 'di ba? I know lagi naman natin sinasabi na friend ko si ganito, friend ko si ganyan, friend ko siya sa Facebook, ayan, internet friend ko siya. So, a friend is a person or kahit hindi person, a thing who or which is not an enemy or who or which is on the same side, and it is a familiar or a helpful thing for us. So, 'di ba alam naman natin, sasabihin natin na isang kaibigan ng isang bagay, isang tao kapagka ini-improve niya tayo, ini-inspire niya tayo, and hindi siya against sa atin, hindi siya against sa ikabubuti natin. So with that being said, if uncertainty is a friend, then uncertainty is a familiar or helpful thing to us. Pero ang tanong, paano, 'di ba? Paano naging friend si uncertainty? Paano siya naging familiar or helpful thing sa atin? Ayan, si Jed may chat pero ayan, sabi niya, yung title ng F today, ay charot, di ko mabasahin na dito. Ayan. Okay, so now, the question is, how does uncertainty serve as a friend to us? 'Di ba? Ano bang importance ng uncertainty sa buhay natin, 'di ba? Paano natin masasabi? Paano natin nasabi? Ay, aray ko, ano 'yun? Paano ko nasabi na uncertainty is a friend to us, 'di ba? Pero syempre, unang-una sa lahat, we cannot regard someone or something as a friend without its characteristics na nag-uplift sa atin or nagko-comfort us, which makes it a friend, 'di ba? So, the following slides, I listed yung mga ways na uncertainty serves as a friend to us. And also parang English pa kasi. It is sort of uncertainties benefits na rin sa atin. Ayan. Ayan. So, first is, uncertainty, our friend, inspires us to explore. So, yung uncertainty kasi, it inspires us to find courage. 'Di ba? Siyempre kapag hindi mo alam yung mangyayari, 'di ba? Parang we need to have courage, 'di ba? Kasi if we don't have courage, it will be hard for us to take action, to be out there. So, uncertainty here inspires us to find that courage para ma-explore yung iba't ibang ideas, masubukan natin yung mga bagong bagay, 'di ba? Makapunta tayo sa mga lugar na hindi pa natin napupuntahan or mga lugar na hindi natin ina-expect na puntahan natin. It inspires us to find courage to develop a relationship with someone na iba rin sa atin, 'di ba? Or someone na medyo intimidating from us. Siyempre, oo, meron talagang uncertainty, 'di ba? Wala talagang certainty na meron tayong mapupuntahang bago, 'di ba? Or magkakaroon tayo ng fruitful relationship with someone, 'di ba? Or magsa-succeed tayo kung saan man. Pero we can be inspired by uncertainty to make today certain, 'di ba? By engaging ourselves sa mga activities na nagbibigay ng meaning sa atin despite the uncertain results, 'di ba? So, uncertainty becomes our friend kasi ini-inspire niya tayo to explore. Next, ini-inspire niya tayo na humanap ng tapang para kahit walang certainty, we can do something to make today certain. We can do something na yung future self natin ipagpapasalamat sa atin kahit na uncertain yung mga results, 'di ba? Ayan. Alam mo, Jed, kung ba't di ko binasa kasi hindi ko na-get. Sino bang gives me Pipito my friend? Ah, na-gets ko na. Ano ba 'to? Pipito Manaloto? Yung matanda, yung sinasabi niya Pipito my friend or mali ako? Ayan. Okay, off topic na naman siya. Ayan, so going back, next naman, next way na nagiging friend natin ng uncertainty or friend encourages us to be patient. O, diba? Kaka-topic lang natin ito last week. So, uncertainty kasi, it encourages us to have more tolerance sa mga difficulties. When we mean more tolerance, parang we have more ability to conquer the difficulties, to overcome the difficulties, 'di ba? And to we also have more tolerance to deal with the delays, 'di ba? As we acknowledge na yung paraan natin or yung perception natin sa isang bagay ay hindi lang yung tanging perception na meron sa mundo at hindi lang yun yung tanging paraan para ma-resolve ang isang problema, makagawa ng isang resulta, 'di ba? Our patience, ayan, yung patience natin, it helps us to see that our desire cannot only be attained in a certain way, but in multiple creative ways. So, ayun, nagiging friend natin ng uncertainty kasi, ayan, in-encourage na tayo to be patient, 'di ba? To be patient with our situation, 'di ba? Kasi sobrang hirap maging patient. And maganda na nakikita natin na yung uncertainty is not a bad thing, but actually a good thing for us to gain the skill of patience, 'di ba? And as we have talked about last week, 'di ba, sobrang daming benefits ng pagiging patient. So, ayan, uncertainty or friend encourages us to be patient. Ayan, sabi ni Jed, oo te, yung kapitbahay ni Pipito. Totoo. Pero wala na, 'di ba? Wala na atang Pipito Manaloto. Ayun. So, wala, nagpa-plus na ulit tayo. Ayan, so meron tayong, ayan, hello. Hello, Sir Darren Adarne. Ayan, nasa Facebook. Hindi ko makita sa live chat natin kasi may problema talaga sa akin yung Twitch. Ayan, pero thank you so much, Sir Da, for being here. Shout out sa iyo. Ayan. So, ayan. Next na. Ayan. Puro ayan. Okay. So, uncertainty, our friend, surprises us with possibilities. Ayan. So, syempre alam naman natin, 'di ba? Yung future, it contains infinite possibilities, both good and bad. Syempre, bad things can happen, 'di ba? Hindi naman natin masiguro na good things lang mangyayari. So, bad things can also happen. Pero, of course, kung pwedeng mangyari ang bad things, pwede ring mangyari yung mga magagandang bagay, 'di ba? And the great thing about projections into the future is that hindi naman talaga natin alam kung anong mangyayari, 'di ba? Hindi talaga natin alam kung maganda ba o hindi maganda yung mangyayari. And it's something na kailangan nating gawing advantage ng uncertainty, 'di ba? Kasi if kasi sometimes parang when we are associated with the word uncertainty, parang we feel like ang pwede lang mangyari is yung bad things, 'di ba? So now, let's use that advantage na we don't know something will absolutely happen. Let's use that as a lens na, good things can happen, 'di ba? And uncertainty can surprise us by being the catalyst for creating the life na gusto natin. 'Di ba? Imagine yung bagay na iniiwasan natin, yung bagay na ini-ignore natin, yung bagay na nine-neglect natin or ini-escape natin, which is uncertainty, yun pa yung bagay na filled with good changes and filled with opportunities na dapat mas bigyan natin ng focus more over dun sa mga bad possibilities. 'Di ba? So, ayun lang, I think na uncertainty is still a good friend despite the bad things that it could give us because of the good things naman na pwede niya ring ibigay sa atin. So, uncertainty, our friend, surprises us with possibilities. Ayan. Ayan, may comment si Jed. The problem, ayan, kailangan din i-edit para makita ng ibang tao kung may nanonood man. Ayan. Ayan. So sabi niya, the problem with our society is that we're not allowed to embrace uncertainty kasi kailangan nga ng security. Truly, we aren't given space to explore and be patient kasi kailangan sure na agad tayo sa buhay. Yes. Ang hirap, to be honest, totoo yung sinabi ni Jed, na it's really, really hard kahit na gusto mo, kahit gusto ng isang tao, it's a truth, 'di ba? Na kahit na gusto ng isang tao na i-embrace yung uncertainty, meron talagang difficulty na gawin yon when we're surrounded by wrong people, when we have this kind of society, 'di ba? Pero of course, we will not be imprisoned by what other people think or what other people say. And it's a work, it's a long kind of work for us. Hindi siya madali at hindi siya agad-agad na mag-transition yung pananaw natin and yung behavior natin into this kind of lifestyle. But I know na it's still possible and that I believe na few people can really do this to embrace uncertainty. It takes time. Katulad ni nung quote natin earlier, ni naabutan ni Jed, si Jadu something ay yung apelyido niya. Di ko alam, letter K yung apelyido niya. Ang secret niya to happiness is that he doesn't mind what happens. So, ayun, siguro ang ibig niyang sabihin, wala siyang pakialam kung ano mangyayari because he is living in the now and what matters is the now and he doesn't care about what other people say. So, ayun, isa sa mga, I think, na meron pa rin mga tao na hindi na nakalagpas na doon sa difficulty na to na meron tayo with the society. Ayan, sabi ni Jed, okay, hindi ko mapindot. Ayan, sabi niya, it takes courage and strength to focus on our goals and be uncertain in things and work our way to our success. Yes, it really takes courage and strength talaga. And, if we're not there, it's okay, 'di ba? Hindi naman tayo nagmamadali. We still have time. And I believe na darating yung panahon na we will have that right amount of courage and strength to actually be able to focus on our goals and just let uncertainty be there and let uncertainty be our friend, 'di ba? Ayan, sabi pa ni Jed, ang galing naman nito ni Jed mag-English. Charot. Sabi niya, accepting uncertainty is a risk to most people. We can only take risks if the risk we want to take is comfortable for them to accept. Truly. Galing mo naman, Jed. Parang pwede ka na maging co-host. Parang ready ka na sa quotes circle sa Friday. Ayan. Pero ito yung sinabi ni Jed na it's really a risk. 'Di ba? Kasi it's parang yung decision na to, hindi lang ikaw yung maapektuhan. Maski yung mga sa paligid mo maapektuhan sa pagdedesisyon na i-accept yung uncertainty and to be comfortable with uncertainty. But yes, talagang ganun ang life. Life is life. Ayan. So, now let's proceed to, to another way kung paano nagiging friend natin ng uncertainty. So, uncertainty our friend strengthens us to act. So, yung uncertainty, it strengthens us to be honest at the moment. 'Di ba? Kung ano bang problema natin, ano bang worries natin, ano bang fears natin, it gives us that opportunity to be honest. 'Di ba? Na hindi naman fatal, hindi naman nakamamatay, na hindi natin alam yung mangyayari. 'Di ba? Oo, sobrang hirap talaga. It really is difficult, and it's valid if we are feeling overwhelmed and frustrated and pressured and kung ano-ano pang bagay. Pero we could also say, 'di ba? Hindi naman isang side lang ang meron, 'di ba? Na uncertainty can be beneficial for us, 'di ba? Para ma-discover kung ano yung feelings natin, kung ano yung thoughts na tumatakbo sa atin, kung ano yung nasa environment natin, yung mga taong nasa paligid natin, and to be aware din sa actions natin. So uncertainty also strengthens us to figure out what we need to do next, 'di ba? As we are more mindful of our present motives and actions. So, ayun, I really believe na, with uncertainty, if we see it as a friend, we'll be able to act more aligned with it rather than against it, na we want to control our destiny. Of course, we have the choice kung meron pa rin tayong free will to do what we want, 'di ba? To make things happen for us. But it's not always upon us lang kung ano yung mangyayari. Pero wala namang masama if we do our part, and that is to act. And I think yun yung isang bagay na um, gustong sabihin sa atin ng uncertainty, na when I am here, just do what you can and just leave everything to God, 'di ba? To our creator who knows what will happen next and who wants the best for us and who is working behind the scenes. So, ayun lang, uncertainty, our friend, strengthens us to act. Ayan. Ayan, sabi ni Gina G yan. Oo nga eh. Alam mo, Jed, wala pa nga tayong ano eh. Yung anong tag doon, 'di ba? Yung topic, yung parang quote natin nung Friday na nakaraan. Wala pa tayong pinost. And wala pa tayong letter for the coming the coming Friday. So, ano na, charot. Yan. So, next naman. What's next? What's next? Ay, tapos na yan eh. Ayan. So, in short, ayan, uncertainty is our friend as it inspires, encourages, surprises, and strengthens us just like any other good friend. Ayan. So, ngayon naman, of course, we talked about paano naging friend si uncertainty. Ngayon naman, why is it important to embrace uncertainty? So, mas malalimang explanation ang ibibigay natin dito. So, ayan, embracing uncertainty would give us no reason to be stressed and worried, rather a reason to be curious and excited. 'Di ba? Kasi talagang obstacles, problems, 'di ba? Difficulties may come, pero uncertainty wouldn't bother us much anymore dahil in-embrace na natin siya, 'di ba? And we know na friend natin siya that would unleash yung full identity niya or yung full purpose niya at the right time, kapag ready na tayo physically, ready na tayo mentally, ready na tayo emotionally, ready na tayo environmentally din, kung may ganun mang word, 'di ba? Kung ready na yung environment natin to that change na dala ng uncertainty. And of course, when we embrace uncertainty, wala na tayong rason para ma-stress, mag-worry, kasi alam natin na friend natin siya. Ang tanging feelings lang na meron tayo is that, or I can say na, of course, baka meron pa ring tendency to be stressed and worried, 'di ba? Sa mga simulang pagkakataon, kasi it's something na we have no control of. Pero I believe na in the latter part, magiging mas yung feelings natin more on we have curiosity and we have excitement on the great things that are about to happen in our lives. So, yun yung isang bagay kung bakit importante to embrace uncertainty. Pangalawa naman is that embracing uncertainty would help us understand ourselves. 'Di ba? Kasi uncertainty, it is always an opportunity to grow. 'Di ba? It's always an opportunity to grow. Bakit? Kasi tinutulungan niya tayo na maintindihan yung mga takot natin, 'di ba? Kung ano yung nangyayari, kung ano yung tumatakbo sa isip natin, and it helps us to discover yung potential pa natin, yung iba't ibang potential natin as we build a relationship with ourselves. 'Di ba? Habang nandun tayo sa uncertainty at habang ini-embrace natin yung uncertainty, parang binubuo din natin yung sarili natin sa mga ganong pagkakataon. Iniintindi din natin kung saan tayo nanggagaling at binibigyan natin yung pagkakataon natin to flourish kahit na hindi natin alam yung mga mangyayari. And ayun, embracing uncertainty brings us one step closer dun sa person, dun sa kind of person na we want to become. Kasi sa totoo lang naman, the person that we want to become is already inside us. Nasa loob na natin yon. Kailangan lang natin siyang gisingin, kailangan lang natin siya palabasin, kailangan lang natin siya i-unleash within us, from within us. So ayun, embracing uncertainty would help us understand ourselves, and not only that, it also helps us to be one step closer to the person we want to become. Okay, and then lastly, embracing uncertainty is important because change only happens when we embrace the unknown. Walang aspiration or walang dreams, aspiration, desires ang pwedeng ma-accomplish without surrendering doon sa comforts of the familiar. 'Di ba? Kung gusto lang natin palagi security, gusto lang natin palagi is comfortable, 'di ba? Ang mangyayari nun, we will never go out from our comfort zones. We will never take action. We will never take unfamiliar actions. So, we have to surrender the need to know, 'di ba? And we have to embrace uncertainty. So, only giving up yung security of the known, we can create pagka give up natin yung security of the known, of certain, it's the only way we can create new opportunities. It's only way we can see new opportunities, and it is the only way na mag-grow yung capability natin and makakapag-build tayo ng confidence, 'di ba? We can never hope to achieve success unless we embrace the unknown and we get comfortable with the discomfort of risk taking. 'Di ba? I really believe na life is filled of risks talaga. And mostly, parang 'di ba pag nakikinig tayo ng mga success stories, kadalasan yung mga naging successful yung mga tao na they take risks, they embrace the unknown, and kahit ilang beses pa silang pumalpak, kahit ano pang sabihin ng mga tao sa paligid nila at patingin ng mga tao sa paligid nila, walang sense yung ginagawa nila, walang patutunguhan yung ginagawa nila, they still persist and they still believe in themselves and they still take the risk. Kasi yung mga tao na yon, they believe na in the end, things will be clear and things will be better then as they embrace uncertainty. Ayan. So, in short, we should treat uncertainty as a friend kasi it's familiar to us because it's a constant thing in our lives. And it's beneficial to us. It's a helpful thing for us because of all the good things na um, pinapakita niya sa atin, or parang ini-inspire niya sa atin na gawin, ini-encourage niya sa atin, surprise niya tayo, and ini-strengthen niya tayo to act. So, it's beneficial. And kapag wala tayong good relationship with uncertainty, ang mangyayari, we will only continuously suffer, 'di ba? With our present times and maybe in the future. And we will only find no meaning and purpose sa kung anong ginagawa natin at sa kung anong nangyayari. And ayun, we will have a hard time reaching the growth we aspire. So, it's very crucial for someone na merong pangarap, may mga pangarap at merong gustong i-achieve sa sarili, whether it is external growth or something like more on sa identity or sa traits ng isang tao, 'di ba? Personal development, yung gusto mong i-achieve, very important na i-embrace natin ang uncertainty. So now, how does embracing uncertainty connect with hoping? Without tuloy. Before answering that, I'ma drink my water. Kayo rin. Yummers. Ayan. So, how does embracing uncertainty connect with hoping? So, embracing uncertainty as a friend is essential in hoping kasi nire-remind tayo ng uncertainty. I mean, nire-remind tayo ng act of embracing uncertainty na, okay, mali-maling sentence ko. Nire-remind tayo ng hoping, when we are hoping, it reminds us na merong uncertainty in 2022 and for the years to come. 'Di ba? Nire-remind niya tayo when we hope, we are reminded na uncertainty exists. 'Di ba kasi syempre hindi naman tayo mag-hope ng isang bagay kapag alam natin na certain na mangyayari siya, 'di ba? Nag-hope lang tayo when we know and we are aware na uncertain siya, hindi sigurado kung magiging successful or mag-fail ang isang bagay. So, hope here serves as a reminder na there is uncertainty, na nag-exist yung uncertainty. And in hope, when we are hoping, kailangan i-embrace natin yung uncertainty kasi nga, katulad na banggit kanina, it is constant. It's a constant part of our lives, not just not just in the future, but in every moment, 'di ba? Kasi kunyari mamaya, sigurado ka ba na may kuryente, 'di ba? Mamaya walang kuryente. Sigurado ka ba na masarap yung ulam mamaya? Sigurado ka ba na walang message sa'yo mamaya? Sigurado ka ba na hindi kanya gusto, 'di ba? So, bawat pagkakataon, bawat mamaya, may uncertainty. So, if we are hoping while resisting uncertainty, while needing to know everything and while trying to figure everything out, ang mangyayari lang, we will suffer from mental and physical burnout. 'Di ba? Mapapagod tayo physically, tapos mentally, maaari ma-depress tayo, ma-anxious, maging frustrated, 'di ba? And 'di ba, alam naman natin, we can do nothing to make uncertainty disappear. Pero we can do something to remove the friction with it, 'di ba? To remove the friction around uncertainty by embracing it. When we embrace uncertainty as a friend while hoping, we make our journey slow but momentous and less rocky. So, if you're hoping for something, a desire, a dream, whatever it is, you must accept uncertainty with it. When you're hoping, accept uncertainty. Accept uncertainty with it. Kasi parang package yan eh, yung hope at yung uncertainty. Kasi to hope is to embrace uncertainty, 'di ba? To hope, hindi tayo sigurado, 'di ba, na mangyayari. That's why we're hoping about it. So, if hindi tayo sigurado, maigi na we embrace uncertainty while we are hoping. So, to hope is to embrace uncertainty. Ay, hello Mitzi. Hello Mitzi San Jose. Shout out sa iyo. Ay, mali yung napindot ko. Ayan. Ay, hindi ko mapindot. Saan ko ba pipindutin? Hindi ka lumalabas. Saya mo na. Ayan, pero nakita kita, Mitzi. Hello, Mitzi San Jose. Shout out. Ayan, thank you for being here, be. Ayan, advance happy Valentine's Day. Ayan. Now, let's move on. Move on. Ngayon naman, how can uncertainty become our friend. Ito naman na yung part na we will discuss the habits, mindset habits na kailangan or necessary for us to practice, or yung mga practices na pwede natin gawin to align our behavior with this kind of mindset where we embrace uncertainty. So, alam naman natin, di ba? Life is filled with uncertainty. Ilang beses na natin ito nabanggit. While many things remain outside our control, yung mindset natin is one thing na we can control, and it's also a key for us to cope with difficult circumstances and to confidently face the unknown. So, 'di ba? To embrace uncertainty, hindi naman yun basta-basta na we can easily embrace uncertainty, 'di ba? When I tell you na embrace uncertainty, hindi mo naman agad-agad yun magagawa and mai-internalize within you na to embrace uncertainty, because there will be things to break, to unlearn, 'di ba? So, to embrace uncertainty talaga, it requires a change in perspective and lifestyle. And the following things na i-discuss natin, ito yung mga bagay na pwede nating gawin, i-explore, subukan, i-practice to be able to change yung perspective natin, yung lifestyle natin, and to fully embrace uncertainty in our lives. Ayan. So, how can uncertainty become our friend? First of all, take action over the things you can control. So, ano man yung fears mo, ano man yung pinagdadaanan mo in this present moment, instead of worrying, instead of, you know, going into a fight, flight, or freeze mode, or kung ano man yung nabanggit kanina, let's slowly try to refocus our minds on taking action doon sa mga aspeto na within our control. Naniniwala ako, kahit isang maliit na bagay, meron pa rin tayong aspeto na kayang kontrolin, or meron tayong control within it. By focusing dun sa mga aspeto na yon, we are switching from ineffective worrying to active problem solving. Kasi lahat naman ng events, 'di ba? Lahat ng problema, lahat ng sitwasyon, iba-iba 'yan. So regardless kung sa ibang sitwasyon ang kaya mo lang kontrolin is yung dito, yung attitude mo and yung emotional response mo, it's still an essential part na you take action over that. You take action over what you can control. It doesn't necessarily have to be a huge way to control it, 'di ba? Yung kailangan sobrang bonggang-bongga na mag-shift agad 100% yung attitude mo, yung emotional response mo, or yung behavior mo, 'di ba? It takes time, and just figure out on your own, and just do it slowly, 'di ba? Just take action over the things you can control slowly without pressure, 'di ba? Hindi naman tayo nagmamadali, wala naman tong deadline. So, ayun, we should always remember na pagiging intentional and pagiging purposeful sa kung ano man ginagawa natin, it allows us to plant the seeds of inspired change instead of fearing the unexpected. So, ayun guys, one way para we can make uncertainty our friend is to take action over the things that is within our control, yung mga bagay na pwede nating gawan ng paraan, 'di ba? Yung mga bagay na pag ginawa natin, it's still rational, it's still practical, and it is beneficial for us. Kasi magkaiba naman yung kanina na you're jumping on the first solution, 'di ba? This time when you take action, you must deliberately analyze it then if it will be helpful for you in the long run. Next naman, uncertainty, we can make uncertainty become our friend through challenging our need for certainty. Ayan, we can ask ourselves kung ano ba yung advantages ng certainty. 'Di ba? Of course, security. Of course, stability. 'Di ba? And we should also ask ourselves, ano naman yung disadvantages ng certainty? So, ask yourself, ano ba ang disadvantages ng certainty? Siyempre, wala na tayong parang wala nang thrill sa life. 'Di ba? Hindi na tayo matututo cause hindi na tayo magkakamali dahil may certainty na, alam mo na yung gagawin mo. Wala nang avenue to learn. So, another question to be answered is that, ina-assume mo ba na bad things yung mangyayari just because yung isang outcome or isang result is uncertain? 'Di ba? Ganun ba yung ginagawa mo? 'Di ba? Ask yourself, na-assume mo ba na bad things happen just because an outcome is uncertain? Ano ba yung likelihood na yung outcome magiging bad thing siya, 'di ba? The truth is, katulad ng ulit-ulit na sinasabi kanina, kahit naman gaano natin, kahit gaano tayo mag-try, 'di ba, na ipagplanuhan yung mangyayari or mag-prepare sa bawat possible outcome, lagi at lagi, life will find a way of surprising us. Life will always find a way of surprising us. So, something na we can do to challenge yung need natin for certainty, 'di ba? Kasi alam natin na life has always a way of surprising us. Then talagang we have to challenge yung need natin for certainty para hindi tayo masyado maging dependent, 'di ba? To security, to stability. So one way of challenging our need for certainty is through practicing the mindset of maybe. So ano naman yung the mindset of maybe? So maybe, yan yung word na pwede nating gamitin or mindset na pwede nating gawin to put a stop to negative projections. So, ito yung pwede nating gawin. Ask yourself, what are your biggest fears? Or actually, pwede mong isulat, ano yung biggest fears mo? Wait lang. Ayun. Okay. Ayun, you can ask yourself, what are your biggest fears? Or you can write it down, ano bang biggest fears ko? Then ask yourself na, are you absolutely certain na totoo yung mga yon? Totoo ba na um, yung mga fears na yun mangyayari talaga? Certain ka ba na yung mga fears na yun, it will exist? I mean, it will happen? 'Di ba? So, since di naman tayo absolutely certain na yung scary and negative thoughts natin ay totoo, we can ask ourselves, ano yung ibang possibilities aside from my fears? 'Di ba? Aside from my fears happening in real life, ano pa yung ibang possibilities? So, this is when the mindset of maybe occurs. Statements like, maybe things will be okay. Maybe things will be awful and then get better. Maybe our actions can make a difference. Maybe there is still hope for something we cannot even imagine. So, if you're with me right now, or kung medyo nakakasabay kayo ngayon dun sa gusto ko imparating, when we are doing this practice, when we are doing this saying these statements, mas magiging hopeful and present tayo in the now. 'Di ba? When we are considering and thinking about other possibilities rather than our fears. 'Di ba? And okay lang if ever na you do this practice tapos parang andyan pa rin yung fears mo, andyan pa rin yung worries mo. Kasi, of course, we will also be making a room in our minds for other outcomes. 'Di ba? Katulad sa optimism, 'di ba? Optimism, it's not just about having a bright attitude. 'Di ba? Optimism, it's also about being able to overcome yung mga obstacles sa dumadating because you believe in yourself na kaya mo, na you have the ability to overcome those things. So, ganun din dito na when we are practicing maybe and this maybe mindset and you still have your fears, it's fine kasi kailangan din naman talaga na meron pa ring espasyo sa utak natin for other outcomes. Ang kailangan lang is that we have more space for we have more space in thinking other possibilities more than our fears. So when we practice this, we reduce our need for certainty as we know na kahit ano namang mangyari, things will be uncertain. Yet, things will always have a maybe as well. So kahit na uncertain ng mga bagay, lagi namang may maybe, 'di ba? Maybe this time it'll be loving. They'll find charot. So ayun, laging may maybe, 'di ba? Kung may hindi mangyaring maganda, you could resort to maybe. Maybe this one's teaching me something. Maybe it's meant to happen for me to grow. Maybe things will be like this for now, but tomorrow it's different. It's a new beginning. So, ayun, practice the mindset of maybe. 'Di ba? If something doesn't go the way you plan, embrace maybe and just keep trying, just keep doing you, 'di ba? You cannot know what the journey ahead of you will bring. And you know that's a good thing sa panahon na yon, because right now it's all about the maybe, and it's something na we have to inculcate in our minds, 'di ba? Practice the mindset of maybe. Yan, sabi ni Jed, bakit may pakanta? Hindi ko rin alam, bigla ko lang naisip, sabi ko, maybe this time it will be loving. Okay. Now, next naman. So, ay, tapos na to eh. Ayan, next naman, of course, very, very obvious. 'Di ba? How can uncertainty become our friend? What can we do to make uncertainty our friend? Accept uncertainty. Parang, parang nabigay naman natin yung idea na to kanina. So, ayan, in accepting uncertainty, we should stop resisting. 'Di ba? Don't resist. Kasi resisting uncertainty, denying uncertainty, won't help us recover. It won't help us to learn. It won't help us to learn, to grow, or to feel better. 'Di ba? May nagawa bang maganda yung yung pagkakaroon ng need to know? 'Di ba? May nagawa bang maganda yung um always always wanting to control everything, always wanting to figure everything out? Meron ba siyang nagawang maganda? Kung meron man, I would say na it's just in the short term, 'di ba? Hindi siya pang matagalan, or sometimes very nasa on the surface level lang yung benefit niya. So, ayun, when we resist, hindi tayo mag-grow, hindi tayo matututo, and sobrang hirap maging okay mentally, 'di ba, and emotionally for us kapag gano'n. It just resisting the presence of uncertainty would just prolong yung pain natin, and it will just prolong our struggles by amplifying yung mga emotions, yung anger, yung frustration, 'di ba, yung depression, anxiety that we are feeling, 'di ba? Resisting would just amplify those emotions. So, don't resist. Stop resisting the presence or the existence of uncertainty. The next is, yun na nga, acknowledge and accept na hindi natin alam yung mangyayari. At hindi rin natin alam, minsan hindi natin talaga alam kung ano yung gagawin natin, and that is okay. 'Di ba? Um, Not knowing what will happen and not knowing what to do is okay. It's something na kailangan natin tanggalan ng maling akala na, you know, pangit kapag hindi mo alam yung gagawin mo, pangit kapag hindi mo alam yung mangyayari. It's something na we have to change, and it will be a long process, 'di ba? It will not happen in just a blink of an eye. Pero ayun, now I'm telling you guys, lahat ng nandito sa stream, na if you don't know what will happen, if you don't know what to do, that is okay. That is completely normal, and that is valid. And you know what? Acceptance really is a secret to happiness. Kasi acceptance is about meeting life where it is and moving forward from there. 'Di ba ang ganda? Acceptance is about meeting life where it is and moving forward from there. And aside from that, accepting uncertainty, hindi naman ibig sabihin na when you accept uncertainty, di ka nagagawa ng plano. Hindi ka nang prepare, 'di ba? Wala ka nang gagawin, tutunga ka na lang, 'di ba? Maghihintay ka na lang. It doesn't go that way, 'di ba? We can plan, 'di ba? We can plan, 'di ba? We can anticipate, we can prepare, 'di ba? Pero we should also be mindful na we can prepare for every possible scenario, 'di ba? Kasi life is very, very unpredictable and too random, and it's something na kailangan na nating laging maalala, lagi nating isipin na gano'n lang talaga ang buhay, and it's not really a bad thing in the long run, 'di ba? As we've said, yung mga benefits ng uncertainty earlier. Okay, so may mga comments si Jed. Ngayon ko lang nakita. Or baka bago lang to. Ayan, tingnan natin. Sabi niya, what is important is the journey, not the destination. Yes, the journey makes a destination. The journey makes a destination more worth, so we can only keep trying to reach what we want to achieve. Yes. Ganda. Parang pwede kang pa-quotable quotes, Jed. Pero no joke. Totoo yung sinabi niya na the journey makes the destination more worth. And sometimes, pagpunta mo ng destination, hindi naman talaga yung destination yung magpapaganda ng mga nangyari, magpapaganda nung achievement, nung kung ano mang nakuha mo. Magpapaganda doon yung journey, 'di ba? Kasi 'di ba pag sa mga interview, ang tinatanong naman sa hindi naman tungkol sa destination, tinatanong sa ano yung ginawa mo, paano mo siya na-achieve, ano yung mga nilagpasan mo, 'di ba? Paano mo siya dinil with, 'di ba? Yun yung mas remarkable, and it's really priceless, 'di ba? It cannot be compared to anything. Ayan, and meron pa ulit siyang kinoment, not knowing things is okay kasi it provokes us to think about what we can do at the moment. Exactly. Ayan, I personally think na baka nahinto tayo kasi may kailangan pa tayong gawin before proceeding. Yes, I agree with that, 'di ba? Totoo 'yon na baka kaya naman hindi kaya kailangan nating mag-pause, kailangan nating mag-slow down. Kasi meron pa tayong kailangang gawin, baka meron tayong nakalimutan na step, or meron tayong na-ignore na kailangan pang gawin, or meron tayong hindi naiisip na kailangan nating isipin, kailangan nating i-take, i-remind sa sarili natin. So, ayun, not knowing things is completely okay. Ayan. Okay, next naman. Tama ba? Next na ba? Tama, next na. Ayan. And part of accepting uncertainty also is letting go of the notion na we can control everything. Diba? Actually, it's something naman na I believe alam naman na natin. Diba? And also, a part of this slide then is letting go of what ifs. 'Di ba? Mahilig tayo mag what if, pero if we can do something in this moment, then let's do it para ma-let go na natin yung mga what ifs na yan at ma-avoid na natin sila. And when we choose to let go yung notion na we can control everything, we are freeing ourselves from that kind of illusion na certainty is the only thing that would make us feel secure, that will only make na certainty is the only thing that will make us happy. So we are freeing ourselves from that illusion. So ayan, letting go is very important then, letting go of that need to know everything. Yeah, next naman, another thing about accepting uncertainty is that actually mali pala yung ginawa ko. Mali yung slide. Hindi na siya part ng accepting uncertainty. Number 4 na to. Hindi ko alam bakit naging ganyan. Lutang ako nung gumawa. Ayan. So, ito na yung parang answer na how can uncertainty become our friend. So, another thing that we could do to make uncertainty our friend is to trust that everything will work out for us and for the greater good. 'Di ba? Actually, ito din, it takes courage din, it takes strength din to have faith, to have a faith like this. Kasi mahirap eh. Mahirap mag-trust na everything will just work out for you and the greater good. 'Di ba? Pero, ayun, know that whatever comes, we can watch and wonder how events will unfold, and we can take action on the things that we can control. 'Di ba? And a part of this as well is that we should also believe na in times, things will be clear din naman. Kasi after all, I've read somewhere na uncertainty is an inner knowing that everything will turn out exactly as it should, not as we hope for. 'Di ba? And we can still accept naman yung life situations even if things don't work out as planned. Ang hilang dito is to find a balance between uncertainty and maintaining control without manipulating the outcome. It's always about balance. It's always about welcoming uncertainty while maintaining some measure of control. So meaning to say, when you're trusting that everything will work out for you and the greater good, you're maintaining some measure of control. You are still taking action of what you can control, but with that, you are also welcoming uncertainty in your life, and you're also aware na uncertainty is that thing that will turn everything out exactly as it should. 'Di ba? So, trusting that everything will work out for you and the greater good is about finding that balance talaga. About you accepting uncertainty, welcoming uncertainty, and maintaining some measure of control. So, ayun, I believe na this one is, talagang it's about faith, it's about courage, it's about strength, 'di ba? Na everything will work out for you and the greater good. Ayan, next naman, how can uncertainty become our friend? Ayan, um another way or another practice that we could do to make uncertainty our friend is to focus on the present. 'Di ba? Alam naman natin um na laging hindi nawawala yung focus on the present, yung mindfulness, yung awareness, 'di ba? And ito naman, according ulit sa may nabasa na naman ako, ang dami kong nababasa. Ayan, the opposite, sabi niya, the opposite of uncertainty is not a certainty. It is presence. So, kayo na bahala mag-assess or mag-analyze kung ano yung ibig sabihin. So, ayun, instead of trying to predict what might happen, 'di ba? Let us switch our attention to what is happening right now. So, one thing we could do to focus on the present is to pay attention. Instead na i-imagine natin yung scary and unknown future, we can bring our attention to our breath. We can bring our attention to our surroundings. We can bring our attention to whatever we are doing in this moment. From there, we can check in with ourselves. Kunwari, ano ba, biglang you pay attention to yourself siguro habang nagugas ka ng kamay sa CR. Ayan. So, for example, habang ginagawa mo 'yon and you pay attention to that action, you can ask yourself, let that be an opportunity for you to ask yourself na, how am I doing right now? Kamusta ka ba, self? Habang nagugas ka ng kamay, 'di ba? Let your mind wander and then ask yourself, kamusta ka ba talaga, self? Kamusta ka, self? Even when it feels like everything's out of control, naniniwala ako, and totoo naman na we can still control what we pay attention to. So, ayun, paying attention to whatever you are choosing to notice is a way to focus on the present. Ayan. And another way to focus on the present is to learn to listen and trust in your body's wisdom. Cause your body's wisdom, ba't ganun yung salita ko? Body's wisdom, your body's wisdom always knows what is best for you. So, ayun, a good place to start in learning to listen and trusting your body's wisdom is to integrate some mindfulness practices sa buhay mo, 'di ba? Kasi yung mga mindfulness practices na sinasabi natin, yun talaga yung nakakatulong to help you take your head out or take out ano daw. These practices help helps you to take you out of your head and to be into your body, 'di ba? So, this mindfulness practices also brings you more focus on being rather than doing. So, ayun, I really feel like masyadong, anong tag dito? Ano bang term yon? Yung underrated, yung meditation. And I feel like it's something na we could practice maybe in the middle of the day, lalo na kapag ano ka na, burned out, you're stressed, you're tired, it's a good time to meditate. And aside from meditation, a mindfulness practice na pwede rin natin gawin is walking meditation, which we can do at least 3 times a week, kahit na 15 to 30 minutes lang each time. It will create a huge difference na rin sa atin. Ayan. And another way to focus on the present is to observe and find meaning in the chaos. 'Di ba? When we become observers, 'di ba, we can look outside of ourselves, 'di ba? Para hindi tayo ma-trap sa sarili nating difficulties, sa sarili nating dramas, sa sarili nating mga problema, sa sarili nating mga struggles. 'Di ba? It's not really about escaping because of course we acknowledge our difficulties, pero pag marunong tayo mag-observe and we make it a habit to observe, we can look outside of ourselves and we can find meaning and purpose sa mga nangyayari sa paligid natin. Kasi yung meaning and purpose kasi, they are wellsprings of hope. 'Di ba? Kapag kayong mundo, 'di ba? When our world feels so scary and feels so uncertain, 'di ba? Knowing yung meaning na meron tayo sa ibang tao and knowing yung meaning ng ginagawa natin, it creates a feeling or a sense of purpose which can ground us better than anything else. So, ayun, observe your situation, observe other people, and find meaning in the chaos, find meaning in your pain, because every pain has a purpose, diba? Every difficulty has a purpose, and uncertainty has a purpose as well. So, find meaning in that, and wala namang right or wrong here. It depends on what you need, diba? It depends on what you need in that moment, what kind of meaning do you see, and what kind of meaning ang kailangan mo sa buhay mo sa moment na yon. Ayan. Next is, ayan, another way to make uncertainty our friend is to communicate with others na close sa atin. 'Di ba? Yung mga tao na to, let's tell them what we feel, 'di ba? Sabihin natin sa kanila yung mga fears natin. Sabihin natin kung ano yung worries natin. And tong mga close friends natin, close people in our life, they will understand. They will understand how we are feeling. And sa mga sitwasyon na to, they often comfort and affirm us. So, bakit sinasabi natin na this is a way to make uncertainty become our friend? Kasi, aside from that, the purpose minsan natin when we communicate with the people around us is not because kailangan natin ng advice, pero also when we communicate with them, nagkakaroon din tayo ng clarity sa details na meron sa utak natin, and through communicating it, we see things in a bigger picture more clearer, 'di ba? Clearly. Ayan. So, ayun, communicate with others who are close to you. It will also benefit you, and it will also help you to become help you to make uncertainty your friend as well. And lastly na, ayan, uncertainty can become our friend through investing in ourselves. Through this kasi, when we invest in ourselves, hindi lang natin minamanage yung stress and anxiety na binibigay sa atin ng uncertainty usually, but also, when we are investing in ourselves, we are also taking care dun sa best resource natin. Sa best resource natin na meron tayo in this moment to make a contribution to the world. And ano ba yung best resource natin? That is ourselves. So, we are not only managing our stress when we are investing in ourselves, but we are also taking care of ourselves, 'di ba? So, ano ba yung mga ways natin to invest in ourselves? Of course, pamper ourselves, 'di ba? Um, enjoy a good hot bath, ayan. Ayan, or you could be going to a massage, pedicure, manicure, relax, watch your favorite series, read a good book, take a nap, 'di ba? Pamper yourself. And then another way to invest in yourself is to move your body, 'di ba? Pwede mo namang gawin kahit anong exercise, 'di ba? To move your body. Hindi naman kailangan workout lang, hindi naman kailangan specific na sports lang. You can do any exercise like yoga, like sports, 'di ba? Table tennis, volleyball, running, walking, working out, or kahit na patugtog mo lang yung favorite mong music, 'di ba? Kanta ng BTS, kanta ng Twice, kanta ng Red Velvet, kanta ng mama mo, and then just dance around your kitchen, your bedroom, or your living room. Just move your body. And then, of course, another way to invest in ourselves is to connect with our inner child, 'di ba? During uncertain times, 'di ba? When we are in uncertain times, one thing that we could do is engage with an activity na we used to do as a child. No, na nung bata tayo, tong activity na to, it's something that fills us up. Maybe that's painting, that's drawing, that's writing, whatever it is. Or maybe try something na matagal mo nang gustong gawin, pero you never took the time to do it, 'di ba? So, now is the time to connect with your inner child, and yeah, it's something na makakatulong for you to manage stress and anxiety na maaaring pa ring ibigay sa atin ng uncertainty, 'di ba? Kapagka talagang tinamaan tayo ng, ng more more intensity effect or impact ng feelings natin when we are faced with an uncertainty. So, yan, invest in ourselves. So, ayan, now we are in our conclusion. So, ayun, ulitin lang natin, the things na we can do to make uncertainty our friend, take action over the things we can control, challenge yung need natin for certainty through practicing the mindset of maybe, and accepting uncertainty, stop resisting uncertainty, acknowledging and accepting it, and letting go of the notion na kailangan present palagi yung need natin to know, and then trusting that everything will work out for you and the greater good, focusing on the present by paying attention, learning to listen and trusting in our body's wisdom, observing and finding in chaos, and ayun, communicating with others who are close to you, and investing in ourselves through pampering ourselves, moving our body, and connecting with our inner child. So, certainty, of course, katulad ng ulit natin sinasabi, certainty can be comfortable. Kaya nga gusto natin ng certainty, 'di ba? Because it's comfortable and it demands little from us. Pero clinging to certainty limits our future. Nililimitahan niya yung future natin. Nililimitahan niya rin yung potential natin. 'Di ba? And it shrinks opportunity, and it precludes us from ever realizing kung ano yung capable nating gawin. Thus, control is an illusion and uncertainty is really the reality. 'Di ba? And ayun, how we cope with uncertainty, yun talaga nagdedetermine how well we do in life. Kasi talagang palaging nakakabit sa dreams, aspiration, desires natin, yung uncertainty. And truth to be told, 'di ba? Magkakaiba talaga tayo in how much uncertainty yung kaya nating i-tolerate sa buhay natin. Yung ilan sa atin na-enjoy mag-take ng risk, na-enjoy na-enjoy ang spontaneity, na-enjoy ang unpredictable lives, 'di ba? Pero yung ibang tao naman, they find randomness of life deeply distressing, 'di ba? Pero isa lang ang masasabi natin na pare-parehas tayo. Pare-parehas tayong may limit, 'di ba? Pare-parehas tayo na merong limitation kung hanggang saan yung kaya nating i-tolerate na uncertainty. So, when uncertainty comes, we can either fight it or lean into it. We can either fear it or embrace it. We can either control it or try to engage it. We can either battle it or we can become comfortable with it. And ayun lang, if you feel overwhelmed by uncertainty, it's important to know na hindi ka nag-iisa. You're not alone. Many of us are in the same boat, 'di ba? Kahit pa gaano ka ka-helpless at kahit gaano pa ka-hopeless yung nararamdaman mo, there will always be steps na pwede nating gawin to better deal with these uncontrollable circumstances. Just remember na learning to thrive in the unknown doesn't happen overnight. Embracing uncertainty doesn't happen overnight. Pero if you are willing to embrace uncertainty, if you are willing to take decisive and risky actions despite gaano pa karami yung unknowns, 'di ba? You will reap the greatest rewards. Hence, uncertainty can eventually enhance our lives or diminish it. So, embrace it. Choose to embrace it. And ayun, as we end, matatapos na yung There is Hope in 2022, the series. Pero wait lang, bago yan, basahin natin yung comment ni Jed. Ngayon ko lang nakita. Sabi niya, walang masama sa pag-invest sa sarili, hindi yun selfish. If it is perceived as being selfish, hindi ikaw ang problema. Truly. And actually, ang ganda ng sinabi mo, Jed, because it's connected with our next episode next week, our next and last episode next week. So, later, sabihin ko kung ano yon. Ayan. So, ayan guys. As we end the There is Hope in 2022 series, I really hope na marami kayong natutunan with it and marami tayong na-realize through talking about happiness, happy newness, talking about optimism, positivity to possibility, talking about patience, the power in waiting, and talking about embrace uncertainty, my friend. And now we are ending with accepting that there is uncertainty in 2022 and we are embracing uncertainty, our dear friend, in 2022. And we claim and manifest that there is hope in 2022, a hope that will make our uncertainty certain through appreciating happy newness, having an optimistic and patient mindset and behavior this 2022. Ayan. So now, ayan, references. Marami tayong references. Next ko na nga, kahit nakikita nyo tong mga ching-ching. Ayan. Ayan yung mga references natin. And then, I think hindi ko nagawa ng slide yung next week's topic. Pero, ayan, mag-promote muna tayo. Promote. Ayan, guys, please follow my social media accounts. Ayan. Sa aking Facebook page, like and follow niyan, Steen McCormick, and subscribe kayo sa YouTube channel ko, Steen McCormick, and then follow niyo rin ako sa Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, Sail with Steen. Kasi soon, after GenZailing Through Life, dyan yun ako makita sa TikTok and sa YouTube kapag sinipag ako. Kasi busy ako ngayong late February hanggang April. May busy si ate mo girl. So, hopefully, I can make time for content creation kasi nagpaplano na rin ako na mag-freelance, 'di ba? Para may ma-earn tayo, 'di ba? Ayan. So, for next week's topic, wala pa. I mean, walang slide, pero meron na akong topic for next week natin. So, ayan, sabi ni Jed, saka may purpose talaga ang mga dumarating sa buhay natin, even uncertainty. Yes, exactly. Ayan. So, next week, next week naman, ang magiging topic natin, last topic natin next week is, ano nga ulit yun? The last topic natin next week is, find your self-love language because it's Valentine's Day. It's all about love. So, next week, we'll talk about find your self-love language. Ipakalat nyo na yung topic natin for next week. Sana marami. Kapag maraming dumating, pag maraming nanood, baka i-push through ko yung parang, hindi man giveaway. Hindi pala giveaway, parang raffle pala. Ayun. Raffle pala ng parang GCash. Ayun. Gusto ko sana magpa-ganon. Kaya lang kasi walang viewers. And ayoko naman yung, dahil lang nagpa-raffle ako, kaya magkaka-viewers. Alam mo yun, di ba parang hindi genuine yung pag-nood nila. So, ayun, kaya pinag-iisipan ko kapag may nanood or basta pag merong parang na-reach ko yung quota na number na gusto ko, ayun, push natin yung raffle. Pero pagka wala, edi wag na, charot. Ayun, so, ayun, next week, pag-uusapan natin is ang last episode ng GenZailing Through Life. For the meantime, di pa naman tong last episode forever dahil we never know, baka maging podcast ng GenZailing Through Life in the months or years to come. Or baka ganito pa rin setup, we don't know. Ayan, so that's uncertain. Pero it's a good uncertainty. It's a good kind of uncertainty. So, ayan, next week, last episode natin ay Find Your Self-Love Language. We'll talk about misconceptions about self-love. And then, kung ano ba talaga ibig sabihin ng self-love. Ano bang importance ng self-love? And ano bang importance na malaman natin yung sarili nating self-love language? And next week, meron tayong parang quick quiz, 'di ba? To figure out kung ano ba yung self-love language natin. And we'll provide examples kung paano natin ma-practice yung self-love language natin. Ayan. So, hopefully, ay makapanood ulit kayo next week kasi ang ganda ng topic sa Valentine's Day. Ayan. Sabi niya, OMG, bet yung topic. Diba? Ang ganda. Ayan. Diba? Sana may manood. Maganda topic. Maganda talaga. Parang yung host. Diba? So, ayun. Nakaka-excite. Actually, originally talaga ang plano ko. Kung hindi ko talaga i-end yung GenZailing, series talaga dapat yon na I Love Me series. Yun yung bago natin sanang series. Pero because I've decided na stop muna sa GenZailing Through Life so that I can focus dun sa life ko, 'di ba? Life outside GenZailing. Ayun. Kaya yun na lang. Sabi ko, kailangan i-push through ko lang yung topic na yun kasi gusto ko din yung topic na yun. So, ayun. With that being said, thank you so much sa lahat na nanood. Pero I feel like si Jed lang naman. Ayun, so thank you everyone for staying and listening and learning with me here in GenZailing Through Life. Kung meron kayong mga questions, just feel free to message me. And kung meron kayong mga suggestions na topic related to the self na pwede ko i-topic or i-content sa YouTube or sa TikTok in the near future, just message me or comment below. And hopefully, meron kayo natutunang bago ngayong araw na to or na-remind kayo kung ano ba talagang importante at kung ano ba talaga ang nararapat gawin. I hope na you could watch and learn with me again on the last episode next week, next Monday. For the meantime, at 6 in the evening here on my Facebook page and YouTube channel. Again, I am your host, your beautiful host, Justine McCormick reminding you all that you are enough, you are loved, and you matter. Always remember that you have the choice of how you want to live your life. So be the sailor of your own boat and grow as you sail. Ayan. Goodbye everyone and sana masarap ang mga ulam nyo and ayun, take care. Ayan, see you next week on our last episode. Bye!